active soccer tournament. And she got Hillel, which is the traditional Jewish organization, and she got MSA, the traditional Muslim Student Association organization, on campus. And they came together, they fundraised, they had a soccer game, and from there they started the personal relationships where they could talk about some important issues that they wouldn't have otherwise been able to do. So that's one example that can be done. And there's so many other different initiatives that can be done. AID does plenty of these, but those are just some examples. And then of course you can always educate others by just your daily lives, whether you can speak to someone freely about an issue in a non-threatening fashion, or a lot of you Americans are abroad living here, just going back home and speaking about your personal interactions, instead of, as I said, approaching it in a threatening way about U.S. foreign policy, for example. Another way to educate others is not just through campaigns like these, but also through things that we will discuss in the next panel on media. You can submit articles on op-eds into your newspaper, call into radio stations. You could blog. I'm sure we'll talk more about that later. And those are a variety of just educational platforms that you can start from. And from there, you can take the next steps. You can instill passion in people by educating them, getting them excited about the issue, and then take the next steps. This is where I guess the institutional change comes along. Change the minds of people, the non-institutional change, and then take the next steps. How can you do that? And I think that a lot of people were discussing this in the discussion groups right now. Some were saying to do specific campaigns for policy reform, which is good and healthy. That's one way. Then there's some other ways, such as canvassing, partaking in a political campaign. You can directly call your legislators, or you can bird dog. What bird dogging is, for example, in the United States, a lot of young people bird dog, where they ask very pointed questions at presidential debates, so you can get them to address a certain issue that you want to have addressed. And then, of course, as I was saying earlier, just by your day-to-day lives, you could affect different perceptions just by the way you act and by the different awareness campaigns that you do. So those are just a few strategies, a few tactics on what you all can do at your own communities. You can do this individually, or you can do this on a bigger level. You can start a bigger campaign. And how to do that? That's pretty easy. You can just get a friend. You can get a partner organization. You can get an NGO. You can join the lobby firm. And that's just the beginning. You can start your own club. You can start a big campaign. A lot of times you can get people that are on the similar issues that are willing to get together to promote your cause. And sometimes you can get local governments to tag along with what you are trying to pursue, whatever your agenda is. You can, if you do a campaign in your own local community to do something, and you create the change, you can get them to tag along with you to the next level. You change reform in your city, they can change it in your state, and then from the state to the national government, the national government to the international arena. So there are plenty of ways that you guys, that young people can make the change, and it's really just up to you to decide what you can do, what you want to do. I think what you can do is endless. The opportunities are endless. It's just putting the feet to the pedal and doing it. And speaking on behalf of AID, we are more than willing to help. Unfortunately, just Americans. But the resources are out there, and you just have to have the motivation to take the next step. Our organization is there to provide you with these resources and run with you on these different campaigns that you do along the way. That's everything in a nutshell. I just wanted to be able to give you all these ideas so you can formulate, you can fill it with some character, fill it with some life. And take it with you and run with it, and I do this all year long. I provide the resources to young people to do these type of campaigns, to do whatever they want to do, and whatever it may be. Just We're just promoting young people to get involved. And that's everything I have in a nutshell. And if you have any questions as well later on during the day, feel free to come up to me. If you have ideas, I'd be more than willing to work with you to formulate those ideas and what you can do. And that's the purpose that serve at AID is to help you along with these. And it's not just foreign policy, not just peace and security issues. It could be from health to development to environment. So yeah, I'm more than willing to talk to any of you. And thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. I was wondering if there is a website, or I understand you're working in America, but because we do miss in Morocco these types of creative ideas to fundraise, to push, to be more proactive. Is there some type of resource in your website and things like that students here could go into?
Yes, we have on our website. We're going through some changes, but it's being revamped. But what's currently there are templates on how to organize different campaigns, whether it be a campaign or to do a conference, or do a video conference, do a film screening, to do this type of stuff. We have templates online which you can access, and you can download, and it gives you directions on how to contact the media, how to do outreach, how to do the event itself. One thing that you can do, as Moroccans, you can contact me, and as Americans, you can contact me as well, and we do lots of video conferences to do this type of dialogue, but on an international level. And as we'll discuss a little bit later about the follow-up initiatives that we do, this could be very well one of them, one of many. For example, next week, next Monday, I'm doing a video conference in Cairo, not associated with the conference that we're doing, the Comet AID conference we done in Cairo. It's separate, but the video conference is a producer from actually Morocco who had 5 Moroccans and 5 Americans put together randomly here in Morocco, and they just followed them around the first time they meet and see how they interact. And so he created this documentary, and he wanted to show it in Morocco and throughout the Middle East, North Africa, and in the United States. And so to do that, what we're going to do is have a video conference. We're all going to watch it, and then we're going to facilitate dialogue between Americans and youth in the Middle East and North Africa region. So it's things like these that that we promote, and it's easy. And I can say that as AID, these are all free of charge. AID fronts the bill. So that's one resource that everyone here can partake in.
Thank you so much, Garcia. We're going to move to Abdelfattah Alidrissi, and he's going to talk also about his experience, and he is really more grassroots, really in touch with the disadvantaged youth, and he's going to share his experience with Amal Salé. Go ahead.
Thank you very much, Manal. Hello, everybody. My name is Abdelfattah Alidrissi. I live just, 5 or 4 kilometers away from the capital, just in Salé, which is very close, just at the side of the river. Today, I'm not going to be talking about politics, and I'm not going to be talking about economy, but I'm going to be talking about something which has a relationship with these two sides. And the most important thing, which is the volunteer work and how to develop young people's personal skills. My experience is with the Amal Salé associations, which is in English, Hope for Salé Association. This association we begin very, very small, this size, we were like really small. And then we developed our personal skills, and then we started developing young people personal skills in our community, which is a very, very poor neighborhood. And then we started creating partnerships with other associations and other NGOs in the same area, and we started developing their